Welcome, everybody, to the Healthy Habit Podcast, episode number 249. I'm your host here, Dr. Dejan Matijevic of Healthy Habit Medical Center, located right inside Healthy Habit Health Foods. And Mr. Rich Funk here of Boom Chaga is back with us on today's episode. Previously, we spoke with Rich about 15 episodes ago. That's 15 episodes ago, on episode 234. So I highly recommend you guys go check that one out as well. This is kind of like a part two here, close to the end of 2025 here with Mr. Rich Funk, who's the CEO and founder of the Better For You company. He started Better For You in March 2021 as a part-time side investment, and he transitioned to full-time in May of 2023, about 2.5 years ago. Purpose of his company is to support and create new-to-world differentiated brands and business models that will have a positive, lasting impact on consumers' lives. The first brand, Boom Chaga, which we're going to be discussing here today, launched in November of 2023, which you can check out at boomchaga.com. And for those of you tuning in here on YouTube, I'll be doing some screen shares here of boomchaga.com as we talk with Rich here today. And he has 30 years experience in the consumer products good industry. So it's going to be a good one here today, folks, as a part two. Again, 234 episode 234 was the last time we spoke with Rich, so I highly recommend you guys go check that out in our either YouTube or Spotify channel. Rich, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, what's been new here on your end on Boom Chaga? I want to get kind of an overview of someone if this is their first time meeting you here on the podcast. Rich, tell us a little bit about how this came about, this idea with the chaga mushroom, powerful, one of my favorite mushrooms, especially for antioxidant capacity, for sports performance. One of the highest ORAC scores of common medicinal mushrooms, or in general, the botanical herbal world. So tell us about how did this came about?
Yeah, so it all started basically at a farmer's market where I'd met somebody that was selling chunks of chaga. I had never heard of chaga before. Uh, he introduced me to some of the bits of it, started researching it more, and I was shocked that people didn't know more about it. And I was even more shocked that nobody had taken this king of the medicinal mushrooms, as it's well known by Peter Wolf and Paul Stamets, and optimized it. Okay, so people were selling it as ground powder. People were selling it just mycelium grown in the warehouse, which you get none of the antioxidant power from it, none of the betulinic acid. Um, People didn't know how to harvest it, when to harvest it. It was just a mass unknown. It was just this lure of historic indigenous chaga is really good for you, and people that knew it, it was kind of the secret handshake. So, what our objective was is to get this massively natural health powerhouse of a mushroom out to the masses. So we went on a 2.5 year journey with an MIT PhD analytic lab to take this chaga mushroom, harvested the right way, right time of the year from wild birch trees, and get the healthy compounds out of it while also eliminating the oxalic acid. And fast forward, after 2.5 years of doing the research and development, we did that. We have a patent on it, our process, and we're now working on a product patent as well, where we are the only one in the world that has figured out how to optimize the extraction process while removing 100% of the oxalic acid. And that's what Boom Chaga is. It's truly taking the best of what nature has, putting some natural science know-how to it, no synthetic chemistry, it's all natural, and optimizing the powerhouse antioxidant called betulinic acid, massive amounts of liquid beta glucans, and zero oxalic acid. And furthermore, there's a unique compound that's only known to be from chaga called enatadiol. We're also looking at our levels of that and how high we are there versus the competition. So far, early indications are just like on our liquid beta glucans and betulinic acid, there's no comparison. So that would just be another kind of box that we would check that we are the highest one on the enatadiol. So, and all these are just massive, massive health compounds. Beta glucans are pretty well known in the health industry. In oats, the FDA has approved beta glucans in oats to lower LDL.
Right.
The level of beta glucans that we have in ours versus the FDA's oat level is more than 10x. So that's how potent our beta glucans are in this. And it's as a complex soluble fiber. It gets into your gut, so it feeds your microbiome. So it's really a gut health, heart health. Lancome and other skincare, high-end skincare products put beta glucans of some level, I don't know the quality, into skin applications as well. So there's a lot of positives with the beta glucans, and that's just scratching the surface because really the betulinic acid, the powerhouse antioxidant, is even more powerful in what it can do for you.
Yeah, you mentioned a few chemical names there, like betulinic acid, oxalic acid. The one that starts with an A, you kind of said that one quick, but I want to cover that one. I don't think we hit on that one in 234, um, as well as beta glucans. So, and by the way, a lot of our customers and patients love going to farmers markets. So I guess one of the takeaways is there is go visit the local farmers market more, right? Support them, and you
Yeah,
never
and
know,
and listen and learn, right? Listen and
right?
learn, and just be inquisitive. Um, if it wasn't for that farmers market, I wouldn't have, I may have learned of chaga downstream, but I that was very interesting to me. And again, it was very basic, the knowledge that was there, but it was, taking that to the next level, getting proper scientists involved, doing the research, for many, many months into this is what's made it, special and it made Boom Chaga, right?
100%. Yep, humble beginnings. But here we are now with boomchaga.com. So again, we'll pull up a screen share here shortly, but tell us more about that. It looks like one of the goals is to limit the oxalic acid while maximizing the betulinic acid. Can you tell us
Right.
more a little bit about that? Let's dive deep into that and educate
Sure.
us on that ratio.
Yeah, sure. So betulin is produced naturally in birch trees. So people that are familiar with birch trees, they'll talk about birch syrup, they'll talk about birch bark. There's some health properties in birch in general. You can buy birch bark tea. Okay. Um, Betulin, again, naturally occurs in birch trees. The bark of the birch tree can produce a little bit of betulinic acid, but the chaga mushroom, as it grows and expands and continues to live in symbiosis with that birch tree, it takes that betulin out, converts it to betulinic acid. Betulinic acid is the number one natural anti-inflammatory that we are aware of, that mankind knows of. It's a massive antioxidant. The FDA says inflammation is a disease. So we have to be careful with how we say it. But bottom line is we have people that take this, and the levels of betulinic acid we have in ours versus all competitors out there is 20 plus X. People that grow that say they're, if you look at chaga supplements, powders, pills, whatever, and if they come with carbs, or if they say brown rice or anything like this, that means they're growing it in a warehouse on some kind of a brown rice biomass to try to get that mycelium, basically the roots, if you will, of the mushroom. There's zero betulinic acid in there. Remember, the betulin comes from the birch. The DNA of the mushroom converts to betulinic acid. Massive, massive antioxidant for anti-inflammation. It also accelerates a process called apoptosis. Apoptosis is the removal of dangerous, damaged, or dead cells in your body. We've not done clinicals yet with people with certain cellular conditions to show it overcomes it, but we have now 20-ish plus testimonials where people had skin conditions like burn scars, surgical scars, just cut wounds, um, acne, psoriasis, eczema. Okay. And psoriasis is an autoimmune disorder. We have these things that are happening, they go away on the skin. They don't come back. The scars don't come back.
Right.
By drinking this, the betulinic acid, probably in combination with the beta glucans a bit, but mostly that betulinic acid, because of its ability to accelerate apoptosis, it's overcoming those damaged cells, the burn scars, the surgical scars, things like this, with new regenerated cells. People are shocked to see this. Initially, I was too, but now it's become more common to where I'm like, yeah, I tell people all the time, take this for 3 months, see what happens to that scar, measure it beforehand, measure it after, and it works. And the third thing that betulinic acid does is it crosses the blood-brain barrier.
Mm.
So when you think about if you've got any kind of oxidative stress, inflammation, any kind of issues up here, if it's linked to those things that I just said that we know betulinic acid does, it crosses the blood-brain barrier and it acts quickly. Roughly 15% of people that we've sampled, and it's been in the 50,000 plus people we've sampled in the last couple of years. I was just doing that math the other day. Um, Roughly 15% feel something in minutes. And remember, Boom Chaga is a water-based extract. So as soon as it hits your oral cavity, you start to absorb it. And your brain subconsciously is doing work to say, what is this? What's this medicine? What do I do with it? Where do I put it? And it acts very quickly, crossing the blood-brain barrier, going to parts of your body where people feel an impact. And on our website, we have a chart to where, again, about 15% of the people feel something in the first minutes. Within 3 to 5 days, maybe as long as a week, but usually it's 3 to 5 days, 65, 70% of the people feel something, notice something, gut issues subside. They have more natural energy because inflammation is going down. Um, they have way less mental strain, stress, worries, just calmness. And then after 2, 3 months, that's where you see the difference in triglycerides, glucose levels, LDL, thanks to the beta glucans, and you see skin conditions improve because it takes a while for that apoptosis to get going. So that's what we see in that. The oxalic acid, just as we concentrate the heck out of the good stuff in the chaga mushroom,
Mm-hmm.
we also concentrate a bad thing called oxalic acid.
Mm.
Oxalic acid is really good for removing rust from concrete and on your bicycle, but it's really bad for your kidneys and it can
Mm.
actually get into small joints and cause arthritis flare.
Got it.
Oxalic acid's in a lot of things. It's in spinach, it's in kale, it's in some other vegetables and other mushrooms. It's very high in some of those, like spinach, and it's also very high in chaga. It would be irresponsible for us to get something that's so concentrated on good stuff, then have that risk of a very high
Right.
level of oxalic acid in there. So that's part of our patented process. We go the extra step. It takes some extra hours in the processing to precipitate that out with a natural compound. So we combine these two things. We mimic kidneys to form a precipitate slash
Wow.
kidney stone, if you will, in our vessel. And then we go through a 3-step filtration process down to 3 microns to eliminate 100% of that oxalic acid. So basically, we force the precipitation, we filter it out, we deliver the strongest, most concentrated levels of liquid beta glucans, betulinic acid from chaga mushroom with zero oxalic acid. That's Boom Chaga. That's the base of what we have.
That's incredible. So you're functioning as the kidneys before they actually hit the real kidneys in the body, right?
We are mimicking
That's
that, and we've
fascinating.
proven out and measured it to where it's in the parts per million, none exist. No more oxalic acid.
I want to do a quick screen share here, Rich. Let me know when you can see. You should be able to see this now. Boom, right here. Can you see this?
Yep.
So I want to quickly show because there's all the research buffs out there that want to know that there's evidence behind what Rich is saying right now. And this is, for example, one study here. Betulinic acid impairs metastasis and reduces immunosuppressive cells in breast cancer models. It's a Chinese study published back in 2017 December in OncoTarget, and it goes on to explain all the mechanisms of action here. So that's just one example. Then we have another one here, betulinic acid for cancer treatment and prevention in the International Journal of Molecular Science in 2008 June. This is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. We even have another one here, betulinic acid in the treatment of tumor diseases, application and research progress. This is from Biomedicine and Pharmacotherapy in 2021 October. We can keep going here. How much time do you folks have? Anti-inflammatory activities of betulinic acid, which is a review, and this one was back in May 2022 in Frontiers in Pharmacology. All of these are really high impact journals. We can even go to the American Chemical Society here. From 2005, 20 years plus, they've known this. Research has found betulinic acid to be particularly useful against melanoma, which is a dangerous form of skin cancer. A lot of people in Arizona getting these diagnoses by targeting tumors specifically. So everything we're discussing here has tons of research. I would just go to Google and type in betulinic acid and then add the word scholar, which filters out all kinds of noise out there. So that's really fascinating while limiting the oxalic acid exposure, as Rich was just mentioning through their patented method there. So I appreciate you highlighting that, my friend. Thank you for that. Is chaga mushroom one of the highest betulinic acid sources in the mushroom kingdom, or are they all really high in betulinic acid? You might
No,
have
it's
mentioned that,
it's
but
yeah, no, that's okay. Good question. So there are other sources around the world of betulinic acid, but remember, betulin starts in birch trees, right? So other compound, other natural occurring um, plants and other things can have some betulinic acid in it, but chaga has by far the most. And again, it's because birch trees naturally make betulin. So chaga is hands down. It's a factors of hundreds fold how much betulinic acid is in chaga versus a handful of other items known around the world. There's no comparison. Chaga is called king of the medicinal mushrooms. One, because it's very dense. It grows on a living tree versus most mushrooms grow on dying organic matter, a dying tree, a dead tree already, sorry, biomass. And also because it's so dense with these two very, very hardy, healthy compounds and the antioxidant betulinic acid, the beta glucan, complex soluble fibers, they're very hard to find and keep stable in nature. And you heard what I said that it's known to do. It's heart health, it's gut health, it's cellular health, it's brain health, it's anti-inflammation. You pair all that together, people will take other mushrooms like lion's mane for mental health. Well, you have that with chaga. People will take reishi for certain organ health. Well, you have that in cellular healing with the accelerated apoptosis. People take turkey tail for potentially dangerous cells, cancer cells. You just showed on your screen, betulinic acid has proven all these positive signs against these things. Again, back to the apoptosis. So we focused purely on chaga because, again, king of the medicinal mushrooms. We knew what was in it with those compounds. We thought, in theory, we could optimize them, and we have. So that's why we're sticking with that. That'll continue to be the core of our technology because we know we have a unique extract. And then from there, we'll branch off and deliver a bunch of other benefits by adding on to the Boom Chaga base to deliver things that are even more potent, go after ailments that people want to solve holistically.
Right. Amazing. Thanks for breaking that down, my friend. I really appreciate that. It's going to help a lot of people. And we're not trying to give medical advice here. We're just trying to show you what the research is showing for how this chemical, betulinic acid, has been studied and the different use cases. Always work with your doctor. And we're not saying do this instead of your conventional chemotherapy radiation route if that's what you've already started. We're just trying to put these things on your radar to give you some more options of what's out there. So before we went on, Rich, we talked about how we want to meet the consumers where they're at. We want to make this easy to take. We don't want people to have to take so many different tablets or capsules or swallow big pills that are really hard to stay consistent with. So, what role does Boom Chaga play here in trying to meet consumers where they're at and trying to make this
Right.
easy to apply into their lifestyle?
Well, good question. So one, we do everything in liquid form, and that's intentional to be. There's intentional across a couple vectors. One is we want to be differentiated. So instead of having more pill fatigue or powders that really, mushrooms are not water soluble, right? So instead of having some kind of a sludge at the bottom of your tea or your coffee mug, ours is 100% the extract. So all the medicine is in liquid form. So you can take it as just a rip it open like a gel shot. It's only 2% thicker than water, so it's not like a gel, but people see the packets and they assume like a gel pack. So you rip it open, you can drink it that way. You can add it to your coffee, your tea, your lemon water. You can add it to whatever you want, and it's very simple. And for 85% of the people, it's tasteless or mild taste. The second thing we've done, and also by the way, keeping it in liquid form, there's magic in keeping the beta glucans and the betulinic acid stable in liquid form. Okay. And you see the packets there in the little screen you have there, the little packets to the right side of the bags. Um, the other thing we do, if you scroll back, yeah, there you go. Thank you. If you scroll back to the top, this is one of the things that differentiates Boom Chaga as well. People are drinking, a lot of times people get sick of just drinking water all day, so they want to, functional beverages are a big deal right now. You see kombuchas everywhere. You see kratom everywhere. I saw chia seed drinks. I mean, there's healthy, with probiotics, with prebiotics. I call those the halo effect because there's no
Yeah.
science to it. They're sprinkling some stuff in, and you're saying, oh,
Hmm.
it must be healthier than drinking a Coke or a Pepsi, which I'm
Right.
sure it is, but you don't know the levels of what's in there. What we have done is in glass bottle teas and in now just recently 12-ounce skinny cans, we have delicious tasting teas that have each of them have one daily shot of that Boom Chaga packet in it. So it's as far as we can measure the most functional tea/functional beverage on the market as far as the natural medicinal value you're getting out of drinking a 12-ounce can of tea or a 16-ounce bottle of tea. And soon we'll have all natural other beverages as well, whether that's coffee drinks, whether that's energy drinks, simple ingredients, 4 to 5 ingredients per tea, all clean. The only thing that's not organic in there is the actual chaga itself because it's
Mm.
wild harvested across tens of thousands of acres. So to get that certified is kind of insane price wise, but
Yep.
everything else are organic ingredients, all clean, juices, um, extracts, mint oil is in one of them, and honey is the only sweetener. So everything is clean label, 4 to 5 simple ingredients per tea. And again, that's meeting people where they are. Maybe they don't want to take supplements. Maybe they don't want to add the routine, but they like tea or they like to grab, they're drinking a functional beverage anyway.
Right.
So this is meeting them there. And then our next couple innovations will be getting spread through different categories in respective retailers to where if people are looking for in different spots of the marketplace and their grocery stores or wherever, they'll find Boom Chaga in different formats.
Yeah, I think the last time we spoke, Rich, you didn't have these available, these skinny teas right here, these functional
Yeah,
tea options.
yeah, no, those we just launched. Those are just launching on our website this week,
Uh huh.
and then we'll
Got
be
it.
rolling those out to retailers over the coming months.
Amazing. So look out for that, folks, here at Healthy Habit Health Foods. And we're talking with Mr. Rich Funk here on episode 249. So look out for Boom Chaga. That's BOOM, and then Chaga, like chaga mushroom, CHAGA. And I would go to boomchaga.com. You can even click up here at the shop. It's the third on the third tab from the top. And then there's packets and can options available right now. So it makes it easy to consume, right? You don't have to pull out a tablet or a capsule bottle and take that multiple times a day. You can just sip on this throughout the day. It looks like we have 4 different options right now, Rich. Sweet Dreams, Daily Unwind, Midday Boost, Rise and Shine. What are the key differentiators here? Are they combined with other herbs that help with, more? It looks like lavender might be in the Sweet Dreams one
Yeah,
versus the
yeah.
Rise and
So
Shine.
they're all good question. They're each intentional, right? So Rise and Shine is a big blast of yerba mate. So first, all these are truly blended teas. Okay, so Rise and Shine is yerba mate, which
Got it.
has more of a darker tea taste. It is meant to be a morning tea. It's high in caffeine. The can is around 120, I think 115 or 120 milligrams of caffeine. That's natural from yerba mate. We're not adding any caffeine to it. That's what the yerba mate gives. Real lemon juice. All right. So it's yerba mate, lemon juice, boom chaga extract, honey. Those are the 4 ingredients in there. That's simple. Very crisp, clean. Um, a nice little boost for your morning or early, late morning tea with the caffeine.
Got it. And you can see that right here on the website. They break down everything that's in here. 80 milligrams of caffeine per 355 ml can with 60 calories, and the sweetener is only honey, like
Correct.
Rich was
The
mentioning.
FDA, yeah, you'll see on there added sugars. That's the FDA. The FDA requires that if we use honey, if I
Right.
used agave, maple syrup, anything as a sweetener that it's intended to be a sweetener, I have to call that an added sugar. There's no sugar added. It's purely honey. I'm just following the law by
Right, right.
putting added sugars in there.
Everyone's afraid of that word added sugars, but it really depends on the source, right? It's not all
Yes.
bad. So I'm glad you clarified that. And then we have the Sweet Dreams option with 3 others
Yeah.
as well. So this one's gonna have the chamomile.
Chamomile tea, lavender, citrus juice, honey, boom chaga extract. So it's meant to help you sleep. We have women that buy the bottles by the cases, and they drink a half a bottle before they go to bed tonight at night, and they say they sleep like a baby.
Hmm.
So it's very very healthy for you. Again, chamomile, lavender. People spray their pillows, their sheets with lavender anyway. People drink chamomile tea after dinner anyway. So all the teas,
Right.
the yerba mate for the morning, the midday boost is a green tea. Okay, so the red can is a midday boost. That's a little bit of caffeine, right? So just a touch of caffeine from the green tea. It's berry juices, cherry juice, it's one of our top sellers. Again, honey and boom chaga extract. The Daily Unwind's my personal favorite. Daily Unwind is hibiscus tea. So if those haven't had hibiscus tea in years, or they just don't, this is it's a beautiful red hibiscus tea that the Daily Unwind is, with honeysuckle extract, mint oil, again, boom chaga extract and honey. So all teas are are intentional with what's in them and delivering other health benefits intended to be drank. You can drink any of them whenever you want through the day,
Right.
but targeted for times of the day to help you, keep balanced and give you the keep fueling that natural energy.
Definitely a unique product, no question about that. I think this is like the first of its kind where you're combining chaga with all these other different herbs with that specific patented process of removing the oxalic acid, maximizing the betulinic acid, targeted four options here, depending on where you're at throughout the day. Obviously, the Sweet Dreams one doesn't have any caffeine. You can see that here on the back, naturally non caffeinated. That wouldn't make sense to take something with high caffeine right before bed. But then, how would you differentiate it from the midday boost and the daily unwind? I did definitely want to highlight these because this is brand new here, folks, at the time of this recording. When this is released, probably towards the end of the year, it won't be the same. It won't be brand new at that point, but this is cutting edge. Shipping starts literally in a couple days at the time of this recording. So tell us the difference with these ones, the daily unwind and the midday boost.
Sure. So the midday boost is with green tea, and green tea has a bit of caffeine, and I think this can might have 30 milligrams. I don't recall.
Yeah,
It'll show on the back of the can.
yeah,
And
30.
that's meant to be, think of it as a lunchtime tea, or think of it in the afternoon. If you're just feeling a little sluggish, maybe you had too big of a lunch and your blood's going to your belly instead of your brain. Um, you have this little bit of a caffeine here. It's a nice, refreshing berry juice, cherry juice blend. Um, Again, clean, crisp, nothing out of the ordinary in this. Honey's the only sweetener. Boom Chaga extract, highly functioning. Okay, and then they go to the next one, please. The daily unwind. The daily unwind, like the sweet dreams, is non-caffeinated. So herbal teas like hibiscus and chamomile are don't have caffeine. Okay, um, this is hibiscus tea, honeysuckle extract, mint oil. Um, and then again the honey and the Boom Chaga extract. This is my personal favorite. It
Mm,
has a really crisp taste. My objective in our objective in launching this one was, hey, instead of that glass of white wine at the end of the day, would you get home and doing this,
mm.
have something healthier, try a daily unwind, calm yourself, get into your evening, a little bit of a treat to relax and unwind, if you will.
Amazing. And again, this is also naturally non-caffeinated, just like the where was
Sweet
it?
dreams.
Yep, the Sweet Dreams option. So whatever you need, folks, we have it. I mean, it depends on what stage you're at in the day. I like that you're trying to get this in the drink format. That's critical. Again, pre-order starts now, and shipping starts November 3rd, a couple days from the time of this recording. And the classic way was the packets. This was the original way Boom Chaga started off. There's a 7, 14, and 31 count. And what would be the quick differentiator with the packets? And we're coming towards the tail end here, but I wanted to try to cover as much as we could here in a 27
Yeah, the
minutes.
packets, no, that's okay. The packets, again, they're meant to be drank as is, just straight, or you can add them. I put it in my first cup of coffee every day. If you're a coffee drinker, you won't taste it.
Yeah,
85% of the people taste this straight and they say it's mild. They don't mind the taste. It's like a diluted coffee, a tea. It tastes like water. It's amazing the palate differential. This is truly chaga and water. That's it. Sounds way simpler than what it is, but trust me, it's chaga and water. And the way it's stable for 2 years is because it's naturally a low pH and we hot fill it. So we take these packets, each packet's filled at over 180 Fahrenheit. So that makes sure that there's nothing unhealthy that can happen to those packets. And we've proven out through a third party lab that it's shelf stable for at least 2 years. We think it could be 3+ years, but right now we're just saying 2 years. So, we can produce this and it's good for 2 years after we produce it. Obviously, we're not producing that much in advance. We're producing as we see the demand. So
right.
it's really healthy for you, good stuff. This is purely the chaga as it is. So a liquid supplement, not in a dropper, not in a droplet, no alcohol, no glycerin, purely just water and chaga, which is why I mentioned earlier in this discussion, it absorbs very quickly once it hits your oral cavity. I actually encourage people, if they're really into this, swirl it around their mouth for a minute before they swallow it, and it'll absorb even faster because it's just sitting there hitting those sensitive cells in your oral cavity and in your tongue to
Right.
really tell your brain what's in it and to get it into your system faster. Um, it's only 2% thicker than water, as I was saying, as far as the viscosity or the density. I don't even use a spoon to stir it into my coffee. I literally, as the coffee is brewing, I just pour it in, put it in there, hot, cold, ambient, doesn't matter. Don't boil it. You
Yeah.
boil it. So if you put it into your teapot as you're doing your tea water, you're going to start to break down the antioxidants. That's the only risk. Don't boil it. Anything else, cold, ambient, warm, it's totally fine.
The king of the medicinal mushrooms, folks, chaga mushroom. And this isn't just Rich calling it this. This is what they refer to it as in Chinese medicine and a lot of different botanical herbal sources. So you want to go check that out, folks, at boomchaga.com. we're pretty much at the tail end here. Time just flew by. Again, chaga, water, and nothing else. Talk about being clean, no fillers, no artificial sweeteners, no additives. You can order that directly from boomchaga.com or come into Healthy Habit Health Foods here if you're in town. We also ship nationwide. You can give our store a call at 602-252-6000. I do want to have you on again, Rich, but we have to end it here. I really appreciate you coming on. It's incredible what you've built there with Boom Chaga so far. I love the design and the cleanliness of the products and the uniqueness of it. You guys are separating yourselves from other mushroom products out there, no question about that. So, anything you want to leave us with here, about 30 to 60 seconds, what's a good take home?
No, I would just encourage your listeners that when you're looking at supplements, always research what's the source, what's the process, make sure it's really better for you. The good news about supplements is people can put stuff out there and you can get to them quickly and see if it helps. But the unfortunate thing is there's just not a lot of rules. It took us 2.5 years to get it to market because we wanted to make sure that what we delivered was not a commodity. It was something that was really going to work. We're very proud of Boom Chaga because we see it changing lives daily.
Thank you for your time, my friend. Always appreciate it. I hope to have you on again soon.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye.